Let me ask you something personal, but important. When was the last time you thought twice about your underwear? Not how it looks, but how it affects your body, your health, your comfort. If you're a woman over 60, this might be one of the most overlooked health concerns in your daily life. And what you don't know can hurt you. You see, there are habits we've picked up over the years, things we've done out of routine, out of comfort, or simply because no one ever told us not to. But what if I told you that some of those habits could be setting you up for serious infections, chronic irritation, and even increasing your risk for more dangerous health issues? All starting with the underwear you wear every day. I'm talking about tight fabrics that don't let your skin breathe, scented laundry detergents that seem harmless but disrupt your body's natural balance, or holding on to worn-out underwear that's quietly harboring bacteria. You've probably been doing these things for years. Most women have. And not out of neglect, but because this is a topic no one talks about. Not your doctor, not your friends, not even your favorite health magazine. But today we're going to talk about it, because you deserve to know. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive. The skin thins, estrogen levels drop, and our natural defenses against irritation and infection start to weaken. What worked for you at 30 doesn't always serve you well at 60 or beyond. And yet, the smallest changes in your underwear habits could make a world of difference in how you feel every single day. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll learn 7 common underwear habits that doctors are warning older women to stop immediately. You'll learn what to avoid, why it matters, and what healthier, safer alternatives you can start using today. Simple changes, big impact. And hey, if this is the first time you've ever heard that underwear choices could be risky for women your age, just type, "I had no idea" in the comments below. Trust me, you're not alone. And if you care about your health and want more trusted advice for aging well, don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Senior Advice. This is where we talk about the real stuff that no one else does, in a way that makes sense for you. Now let's dive in, because you might be making some of these underwear mistakes without even knowing it. And it's time to fix that. Let's start with the one mistake almost no one talks about, yet nearly every woman has made: wearing tight or synthetic underwear. Take Margaret, for example. She's 67. Always stylish, always put together. She loved her sleek, form-fitting underwear. Felt like they gave her the support and confidence she needed. But what she didn't realize was that her favorite undergarments were the very reason she kept getting painful urinary tract infections. Month after month, doctor visits, antibiotics, discomfort that never fully went away. Finally, her doctor asked her a simple question: "What kind of underwear are you wearing?" Turns out it wasn't her age, her hygiene, or bad luck. It was the synthetic, tight-fitting material. Polyester, nylon, spandex. They don't allow your skin to breathe. They trap moisture, warmth, and bacteria right where you least want it. And for older women, whose skin is thinner and more delicate, and whose immune response is naturally slower, this is the perfect setup for chronic irritation, yeast infections, and UTIs. Now here's the part that surprises most women. We tend to think tight equals better. Better support, better shape. But tighter doesn't mean healthier. In fact, it does the opposite. It creates a breeding ground for bacteria and increases the risk of long-term discomfort. And if you've gone through menopause or are currently dealing with vaginal dryness, this combination can be downright painful. So what should you do? Switch to 100% cotton underwear. Soft, breathable, gentle on the skin, and it helps keep moisture at bay. Go for a looser fit. Not baggy, just enough to let your skin breathe and stay dry throughout the day. Cotton may not look as fancy, but it's what your body needs now. And your comfort is far more important than lace or labels. But material isn't the only danger hiding in your underwear drawer. Because what you do with your underwear when you go to bed matters just as much. Let's talk about something that might feel a little awkward, but is more common than you'd think: sleeping in your underwear. Now, I know a lot of women feel strange without it, especially if you've done it your entire life. You may feel exposed, vulnerable, maybe even a bit uncomfortable. But here's what most doctors will tell you: your body needs time to breathe, especially at night. You see, nighttime is when your body goes into repair mode. That includes your skin, your immune system, even your intimate areas. And when you sleep in tight underwear, or even just regular ones, you're keeping that area warm, moist, and covered for 24 hours straight. That lack of airflow is the perfect setup for fungal infections, rashes, and lingering irritation you may not even notice until it gets worse. There was a study not long ago that found older women who didn't wear underwear to bed actually had fewer cases of irritation and fungal issues. That's no coincidence. It's biology. Now let's clear up a common myth here. Going commando at night doesn't mean you're being careless or unhygienic. In fact, it's one of the healthiest habits you can start in your 60s and beyond. If you're not quite ready to ditch underwear entirely at night, that's okay. Start with loose, breathable cotton sleepwear, something that doesn't cling to the skin and allows air to circulate freely. Give your body a break. Let it heal naturally, because what you wear or don't wear to bed can play a huge role in your long-term intimate health. But let's not stop there, because even if you're wearing the right fabric and letting your skin breathe, there's still something hiding in your laundry room that could be irritating your body every single day. Let's talk about scented laundry products. Yes, those fresh breeze and spring meadow scents we've all come to associate with clean clothes. Here's a story I hear more often than you'd think. One woman, 72, wrote in saying she couldn't figure out why she kept getting red, itchy rashes around her thighs and intimate area. She changed her soap. She changed her underwear. She even started using medicated creams. But nothing helped. Until one day, a nurse asked her, "What detergent are you using?" Turns out, it was the floral-scented detergent and fabric softener she'd been using for years. The same products that claimed to make her laundry smell clean were full of artificial fragrances and harsh chemicals that irritated her skin, and were slowly disrupting the natural balance of her most sensitive areas. Here's what many of us get wrong. We think that clean means smells good. But for older skin, and especially around the intimate area, those added chemicals can be toxic. They disrupt the natural pH balance. They kill off good bacteria, and they create the perfect storm for irritation, dryness, or worse, persistent infections. And don't be fooled by the words dermatologist tested or gentle on the label. Always check the ingredients. If you can smell your laundry from across the room, that's a red flag. So what's the safer choice? Switch to fragrance-free, hypoallergenic detergents. No dyes, no softeners, no artificial scents. Just clean clothes without the chemical cocktail. Your skin, especially as you age, will thank you for it. Because sometimes it's not about what you wear, but how you wash it. And speaking of hygiene, there's one habit that many women think keeps them extra clean. But it could actually be doing the opposite. Let's clear up one of the biggest misunderstandings about personal hygiene next. Now let's talk about a habit that many older women believe is helping them. But it's actually hurting them in ways they may not realize. Overwashing, or worse, douching. Ruth is 72. She's always been meticulous about hygiene. Always clean, always polished. For years, she used antibacterial soap in the shower, thinking she was doing everything right. She even tried those store-bought feminine washes that promised to make her feel fresher. But after months of constant dryness, irritation, and discomfort, she went to her doctor, only to hear something she'd never expected. "You're too clean." Here's what many women don't realize. The vagina is self-cleaning. It doesn't need antibacterial soap. It doesn't need floral-scented douches. In fact, it thrives when you leave it alone. Harsh soaps and internal washes strip away the natural protective bacteria your body needs to stay balanced. Once those are gone, it opens the door to infections, dryness, and long-term irritation, especially after menopause when your tissue is more delicate. And here's the misconception. Many women think that because we're older, we have to be extra clean. That using more soap, more products, and more scrubbing will keep us healthier. But in reality, it does the opposite. It disrupts your body's natural balance and throws off your pH levels, leading to the very things you're trying to prevent. So what's the healthier way? Just use warm water and a mild, fragrance-free soap, but only on the external area. Avoid washing inside. No scrubbing. No douches. Gentle is better. And trust your body. It knows what it's doing. But hygiene isn't just about how you clean. It's also about how often you change your clothes. And for some women, that daily habit may be slipping through the cracks without them even knowing the risks. Let's talk about changing your underwear daily. It may sound simple, but for some women, especially those living alone or with mobility issues, this habit can start to fade without notice. Let me tell you about a moment shared by a hospital nurse. She was caring for an older patient, an otherwise bright and lovely woman, who hadn't changed her underwear in several days. No one noticed at first, but over time, the skin around her groin started to break down, redness, soreness, raw patches. The very basics of hygiene had slowly become a health hazard. Here's what most people forget. Even if you're not going anywhere, even if you haven't left the house, even if you've just been sitting in your chair or lying in bed all day, your body is still sweating, still producing discharge, still collecting bacteria on the skin. And when that moisture sits against your body for too long, it becomes a breeding ground for rashes, irritation, and infections. And here's the common excuse we hear. I didn't do anything today, so I don't need to change. But here's the truth. Doing nothing doesn't mean your skin is staying clean. In fact, being sedentary increases your risk of skin irritation and poor circulation. So what should you do? Change your underwear every single day. No matter what. Make it part of your morning routine, like brushing your teeth. Fresh cotton underwear helps prevent skin issues and makes you feel fresher, more comfortable, and more in control of your health. And speaking of underwear, let's talk about the ones hiding in the back of your drawer. The comfy ones you've had for decades. Because they may be doing more harm than good. Next up, those old, worn-out pairs of underwear you've been holding on to for years. You know, the ones, soft, familiar, maybe a little stretched out, but still in the drawer. There's a woman I know, she's 70. Wonderful sense of humor. She once joked, "If it still fits, why quit?" She had underwear older than some of her grandchildren. But when she started getting constant friction and irritation in her inner thighs, she was shocked to learn the real culprit wasn't her age or activity level. It was her worn-down underwear. Here's what happens over time. Fabric starts to break down. Elastic loosens. The shape changes. And those tiny holes or frayed seams, they trap bacteria. They cause friction. They no longer support your body the way they should. Especially for older women who may already be dealing with skin sensitivity or pelvic floor changes. And here's the trap we fall into. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But with underwear, it is broken. You just may not see it yet. Old fabric can irritate your skin. It can increase the risk of infections. And honestly, it can make you feel less fresh, less confident, less cared for. So what's the fix? Refresh your underwear drawer every 6 to 12 months. You don't have to throw everything out overnight. But if you've got pairs with loose elastic, fading fabric, or holes, it's time. Buy new, breathable cotton options that feel good on your skin and give you the support your body needs. And now we've come to the final habit. One that is the most overlooked, yet arguably the most dangerous. The 7th underwear habit that doctors are warning older women to stop: ignoring signs of infection or discomfort. Joan, 68, had a persistent itch that wouldn't go away. She chalked it up to dryness, or maybe a detergent reaction. She figured it would pass. She didn't want to make a fuss. Weeks went by, then months. Eventually, she was so uncomfortable, she had to see a doctor, only to find out she had a fungal infection that had spread deeper and needed aggressive treatment. Here's the truth. Our bodies do speak to us. But too often we shrug off the signs. A little burning, a bit of discharge, a minor smell. We tell ourselves, it's nothing, or it'll go away. But after menopause, the vaginal tissue becomes thinner. Infections become more likely. And delaying care doesn't just prolong discomfort. It can lead to serious complications that require much more intensive treatment. And here's the biggest myth: that these symptoms are just a normal part of aging. That itchiness, dryness, or odor are things we should just live with. But no, those are signs, and they deserve attention. So here's what to do. If you notice anything unusual, itching, burning, pain, odor, or changes in discharge, talk to your doctor. The sooner you speak up, the easier it is to treat. And more importantly, the more you honor your health and your comfort. Because suffering in silence is not strength, it's unnecessary and preventable. Now that we've uncovered these 7 hidden habits, let's pause and really reflect on what this all means for you and your health moving forward. I know, none of this is easy to hear. It's not easy to talk about either. Aging brings changes that we often don't expect. and some of them touch the most private parts of who we are, like our underwear habits. And for so many women, these little details are never discussed. They're passed over, brushed aside, or wrapped in silence. But they matter. They matter more than we think. You've lived a long, rich life. You've overcome hardships, raised families, survived illness, loss, and change. And now you deserve ease. You deserve comfort. You deserve to feel clean, confident, and well in your own body, not just on the outside, but in the most personal places too. Maybe you've been dealing with discomfort and didn't know why. Maybe you've thought, this is just part of getting older. Or maybe you felt too embarrassed to ask about these things. But I want you to know, you're not alone. There's no shame in learning something new. There's no shame in needing to change old habits. In fact, that's strength. That's what empowered aging is all about. Being curious, staying open, and making informed choices to support your health every step of the way. So let's reframe this together. Don't look at this video and feel overwhelmed. Don't feel guilty or ashamed for not knowing. See this as an opportunity, a turning point, a small but powerful way to take back control of your comfort, your dignity, and your health. Tonight, I want you to do something simple. Go to your dresser. Open that drawer. Look at what's inside. Touch the fabric. Notice what's tight, what's worn out, what's synthetic, what's been there too long. Ask yourself, does this make me feel good? Safe? Clean? Cared for? If not, let it go. Because one small decision today could prevent a serious health issue tomorrow. And more than that, it can make you feel lighter, freer, more in tune with your body. You deserve that peace, that comfort, that ease, every day, at every age. And now, you've got the knowledge to make it happen. So before we part, let's quickly go over what we've learned today, because these 7 habits can make a world of difference in your well-being. Here they are. 1. Wearing tight or synthetic fabric. They trap moisture and increase infection risk. Stick with breathable cotton. 2. Wearing underwear to bed. Give your body time to breathe. Sleep without underwear or use loose cotton sleepwear. 3. Using scented detergents or fabric softeners. Fragrances can irritate sensitive areas. Choose fragrance-free, hypoallergenic options. 4. Overwashing or douching. The vagina is self-cleaning. Gentle care with warm water is all you need. 5. Not changing underwear daily. Even on slow days, daily changes prevent bacteria buildup and discomfort. 6. Keeping old, worn-out pairs. Fabric breaks down over time. Replace underwear every 6 to 12 months. 7. Ignoring signs of infection or discomfort. Don't dismiss symptoms. Talk to your doctor. Early action prevents bigger issues. These aren't just tips, they're tools. Tools to protect your health, your comfort, and your confidence. I'd love to hear from you. Have you made any of these mistakes? Or maybe you found a trick that keeps you feeling fresh and healthy. Drop a comment below. You never know who you might help by sharing your story. And if this video gave you something to think about, give it a like. Share it with a friend or a loved one. Let's break the silence around women's health, one small conversation at a time. And of course, subscribe to Healthy Senior Advice. This is your space for safe, trusted tips on aging with grace, strength, and dignity. Thank you for spending this time with me today. You're here because you care about yourself. You're paying attention. And that's powerful. That's something to be proud of. Until next time, stay strong, stay informed, and always take care of the incredible woman that you are. I'll see you in the next video.